right, hello and welcome back, everyone. In Namadacho, and let's jump into Unit 4. So today we will be taking a look at a few different things. The link to the page with all the audio and these PDFs are in the show notes down at the bottom. So just scroll down and take a look, and you'll be able to reference everything that I'm looking at here and the audio that I mentioned from time to time. Again, we're going to skip through these first sentences at the beginning here, and I want to jump down to the grammatical notes. Note 4.1. In the last unit, we looked at verb suffix pronouns, and now we're looking at the noun suffix pronouns. These, remember, are the suffixes that get attached to the ends of the words. And so here we're looking at nouns, and these suffixes indicate who owns the noun that it's attached to. So it's going to indicate personal possession, mine, my, yours, his, hers, etc., etc. And you can see the endings here, and we can see some examples as we go. But here are the endings, the standard endings that get attached to those. So like with the word masaf for book, masafe is my book. Masafa is your book, feminine or masculine. Masafish is your book, feminine. Masaf achu, yours, y'all's book, so it just gets attached to the ends of nouns, and that indicates who owns that noun. So then we jump to verb or note to 4.2. We look at a couple of verbs that they introduce, Allah and yelim, there is or there is not. And what's interesting about these is that Allah, even though the verb is there is, it's kind of used to indicate possession. So it's kind of a verbal way to do that. And it's idiomatic because there isn't a direct word like what we have in English for to own or to have. And so the way that it's structured is the object that's being referred to is actually the subject of the verb. And as they indicate here in this paragraph, the way it's, if you literally translated it, masaf alin, which means we translate it as I have a book. It literally means there is a book to me. And so the object that's being referred to is actually the subject of the verb, and then the suffix pronoun, the verb suffix pronoun, indicates who the subject is. So it's a little bit backwards, but it's kind of like is in Hebrew. They have a similar construction there where they don't have an actual verb that means to have, and so they use the verb to be or there exists to come up with that construction. So they give you the conjugations of these verbs. And again, going back to those verb suffix pronouns from the last unit, you'll see that pop up here. First, second, and third person, singular and plural. And you can take a look, and again, this you'll see where these are coming in handy. And this first section is if you're talking about the thing possessed being singular, whereas if it's plural, then that at the latter part of the word in the second syllable is u. So instead of alin, it will be alun. Then the negative is yelim, which is there. So Allah is there is, yelim is there is not. And again, there's a singular and plural, and you see the conjugations for both. And it's just works the same way. It's just this way. This time it's the negative, it's the negation. So yelinyim, I don't have. Yelihim, you don't have. Yelishim, you don't have. Feminine, and so on and so forth. Then I think it was back in unit 1 or 2. We looked at the masculine definite suffix with the u ending, and this is the feminine definite suffix. So you get those definite suffixes. This is going to be the ones attached to the feminine forms. So wa. So tamari would be a boy student. Tamari wa, the girl student. Astamario, the male teacher. Astamari wa, the lady teacher. As opposed to just a. Remember, there's no separate definite or indefinite article like what we have in English and other Latin languages, you got just that suffix that gets attached to the noun there. And another point that kind of follows on that is, say you do have these modifiers on a noun, the definite suffix won't go on the noun itself, it will go on the modifier. So this example here, Danaso Danish Masafalo, the good man has a small book. Since book is being modified by small there, in the first example, it's just a small book. But if we, or no, it's definite, but Danao so is the modifier there for the man, the good man. And so you see the suffix there on Dana, which is that adjective, good man. So, and, it's Danawa Sait Tinishmasaf Alat. So the good woman has a small book. Otherwise, if it was just, the woman has a small book, then it would be Seitwa Tinish Masafalat. So it would go on just on the noun itself. But because it has the modifier is the one that takes the definite suffix. Same thing here. Conjure to Seit an Masafalat. So the pretty woman or girl has a book. Down here, I think this was the example I was thinking of. Tinishu Masafa Zial. Your small book is here. So otherwise it would be Masafu Ziala. The small book is here. Here it's saying your small book. So Tinish is the modifier, and then that's what's taking the suffix here. So it's going to go on that, on whatever's modifying the noun. So just kind of shifts over. Just keep that in mind. And then they introduce the suffix for specific direct objects. A direct object, we learned about what the indirect one was in the previous unit. But here you'll see that just the N consonant, if it ends in a vowel, added to the end of the word. So Masafu Chachun, Kufatu, open your books. Yihin Kal Yidgamut, repeat this word. So there's that. Remember, Yih is just the or we haven't seen that yet. We'll see in the later unit, but Yih means this, but Yihin has that direct object attached to it. So repeat this word. Then it gives you a few examples. I won't go into it in too much detail, but just different cases where the suffix gets used, and you can just go through these different cases. And then it follows up with prepositions, and it just gets rounded out there where they introduce the first preposition, ba, which gets attached. So here it's more of a prefix. Bataksi mehed yichelalu. Yihin nagad, or yih nagad bamarinya min yibala. That ba gets attached to the word, but as a prefix. And we're going to see more prepositions in the following units. But this one is it's a very it's kind of a workhorse preposition that means a lot of things: to, by, in, at, on. So it does a lot, carries on a pretty heavy load there. So, but you'll see that with prepositions. With suffixes, we saw that gets added to the end for verbs and nouns. And then there's going to be, for the next few units, a lot of prepositions that are prefixes that get added. And you'll see the Amharic, it just seems like it's all about the prefixes and the suffixes. And there's going to be a lot of them there to study and to memorize. So you'll see that. And then we just finish out the unit with pronunciation drills, which you can do. Again, follow along with the audio, listen to it, get used to that pronunciation, hearing it, training your ear to hear that. And that's going to be good practice for you. All right. Unit 4 in the can. Going on to Unit 5. Salam Lananta Yuhun. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.